Normally I just wait, and we'll just start whenever we're ready. You guys good?
I'm good when you are.
All right, here we go.
Greeks don't want no freaks. The Greeks don't want no freaks. Just put a little smile on their rosy cheeks. 'Cause the Greeks don't want no freaks.
Welcome to the third Torchcast of the year. I'm your host Kip, and with me today we got Harrison Watt and Travis Sacher. Both, it's a whole Torch episode today. Harrison was the editor-in-chief in a past life, and Travis is now a lifestyle reporter?
Yeah.
Nice. So, Travis is just coming from a Rush event out in the quad. He's got a good sweat up. You were playing a little frisbee golf, or what was it?
We had a big game of Ultimate. I definitely am tired.
Yeah.
Played for like an hour and a half.
I'm just coming from the Greek lip sync. I only saw a minute of it, but it looks like we were doing a good job. Harrison's coming off a radio show.
Yeah. Nothing too entertaining. Preseason stuff.
Yeah, so it sounds like we all had a busy day. All right, so Harrison, what's your major?
I'm a senior in the journalism program.
Nice. So you are right now the announcer for the hockey team.
Yeah, I'm the color commentator on the radio for Ferris State hockey. So there's a play-by-play guy, Jared, and this is going to be my second full season. And I was a part-time color commentator the year I was editor-in-chief at the Torch 2 years ago.
Nice. Yeah, so Harrison was the editor-in-chief. You miss working at the Torch?
I do miss working at the Torch. Torch is fun. It's a good environment. I never got to move into the new office with you guys, so I got to avoid the ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something we deal with every day over there. So, Travis, what's your major?
My major is music industry management. I'm currently a junior, and I switched in the program last fall.
Nice. So you're working at the Torch now as a lifestyle editor or lifestyle reporter.
Lifestyle reporter. I began working there last fall, so almost a complete year so far.
Nice. So it's an all Torch episode. Sorry to the students. Sometimes we like to keep it in the family. So right now we're gonna go through some news and we're gonna all chat about what's going on. So first article here was written by Meg Heiler, and it's about it being Rush Week. I mentioned Travis just came from an event. Some facts about Greek life here. We have 6 professional fraternities, 6 sororities, 7 IFC fraternities. That's Interfraternity Council. Let's see. We got 2 Black Greek Council fraternities, 3 Black Greek Council sororities, and 500 students total involved, which is more than I thought.
That's a lot.
Yeah. In the article, Jamie Brannick, my friend, talked about how Greek life changed her life. Also, Austin Felt, the president of Pike, or Pi Kappa Alpha, says he loves the interaction between Greek members and the networking opportunities. So, Travis, what fraternity are you in?
I'm part of the Sigma Pi International Fraternity.
Nice. How long have you been in that?
I joined Sigma Pi my freshman year, so that was spring of 15. So I guess that would be my 4th semester in the fraternity.
Nice. You enjoying it?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite parts of college.
For sure. What Rush events do you got going on this week?
So yesterday we did a grill out at one of our houses. We had burgers and dogs. It was really fun. Watched a couple of the football games. Today we had Ultimate Frisbee in the quad. Tomorrow we have dodgeball at the Wink Arena. So
Nice.
we rent out the whole basketball gym. It's open to anyone. It's a huge game. It's a lot of fun.
That's good times. So what's been the best part about being in a fraternity here?
I would probably say 2 things. One, the brotherhood and family. So for me, that's really important. I'm originally from New York, so when I first came to college, it's tough to meet people that you get close to outside of your roommates, suite mates. So joining a fraternity, you meet guys who really get to meet you and know you, and it's fun. You definitely feel like more. I felt more at home while I was here once I joined Sigma Pi. The second is definitely the networking. We have currently around 200 alumni. We have a few music industry management alumni. When I used to be in PGM, we have a few PGM alumni. So just talking to them, helping us get ready for the future once we graduate and getting jobs and things like that.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm in a fraternity as well. My parents live in Kentucky, so it's nice to have some close friends right here. Harrison, you didn't join a fraternity?
I didn't. I hate to date myself. I got here in fall of 2012,
Yeah.
and I was hired at the Torch at the end of July of 2012. So I kind of hit the ground running right at the Torch, and I guess I never really got into it, but it's something that had interested me before I got to college, but I just I think I missed out on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all about being involved in any way you can, as long as you're in. You got a job, you got any RSO, and Harrison, no one's going to accuse you of not being involved.
Yeah, hope not.
Yeah, if they did, they'd be wrong. All right, another article here. We got students talk about how they handle political discussions in class by Angie Graff and Andrea Lanehart. Andrea Lanehart's also in a sorority, and she's running for royalty here. So I think voting opened today, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it did. So go out and vote. And what's Andrea's slogan? No, I mean, she vote your heart, vote Andrea Lanehart.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're pushing for it at the Torch here. All right. This article was all about how people handle the discussions you have in class. And it's election time, so emotions are running high. Jacob Law, political science student, says he doesn't see an issue with it so much in his poli-sci classes, but in sociology, psychology, and philosophy classes, he has an issue with some of the ways the professors present ideas. What do you get? You guys talk a lot about politics in your classes?
I don't think we do. I've had professors in the past that have kind of around this time of year. Actually, now that I think about it, it was my freshman year. I had a history professor who was very, very conservative. So pretty much everything he taught for the first 2 months going into election week was super conservative, and some people I remember in my class had a big issue with it, but most of the time if I disagree, I tend to just kind of keep it to myself if it's my professor talking, just out of, I want an A in that class.
Right.
So I just kind of, keep it in. If I disagree, I go deal with it later, but it can be kind of tough if you're not in a poli-sci class, I think.
Yeah. Well, I lean towards the conservative viewpoint, but I've been in a lot of psychology classes. I've been in sociology classes, and it's just something we end up talking about because it's relevant. And I've never seen a professor really go overboard, so I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I mean, some professors definitely lean left. I think that's kind of the tendency, but I appreciate getting the other side of the argument. On campus, we have Political Engagement Project, we have College Republicans, and Young Americans for Liberty. So Jake Law later in the article said that he wishes there was a Democratic group to diversify the thought on campus. So anyone out there is listening, if you want to start a college Democrats or whatever kind of group you want to do, there's definitely a demand for it. All right, some crimes of the week. Let's see. We have an unconscious guy in a parking lot. Cops found him there sleeping. Looks like he had weed on him, and he went straight to the hospital and then straight to jail.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. Not a good night. Passing out in a parking lot, waking up in a hospital, and then getting shipped off to, Mecosta County Jail, which I visited over the summer, and I can tell you it's not wouldn't be a fun environment.
Doesn't sound like it would be.
One thing that surprised me about jail the most, because I'd never visited a jail before, and this is not because I went to jail, I did it for my internship, but it smells really bad.
I feel like I could imagine that, but
yeah, it stinks.
They get a lot of dirty people in there, and they're there so long they don't get to shower.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have the opportunity to shower, but I don't, if you're not really going out on the town or you got classes or whatever, do you really take hygiene that seriously?
Probably
I don't
know if you're trying to impress anybody in jail.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You're probably trying to get out.
Yeah, I agree. All right, another thing, we got someone caught in Merrill Hall with marijuana, and not just personal use. It looks like it was possession with intent to distribute this time.
That's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, you bet.
Merrill Hall. Ooh, it was crazy. We actually, our RA on my side of the hall resigned like a month in. So for about good 9-10 weeks, we didn't have an RA. It was mayhem on my floor. It was nuts.
It happened to me freshman year in McNerney. Our RA resigned after, like you said, 9 weeks. So the rest of the semester, no rules.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was free for all down there.
That's good times.
Probably the best part of freshman year.
Yeah. I am surprised I read about it in Merrill. I mean, I always, when I think of crimes in dorms, I always think of McNerney, Brophy. That's just where it all happens. When I lived in McNerney freshman year, the cops were always there.
They were. I knew a couple of them by name.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We got a big one today. We're looking at no suspects in a string of vehicle vandalizations. Looks like 4 cars around campus were severely damaged. Looks like people were breaking windows and tires and things like that. And they don't have a suspect yet.
When I lived on campus, I actually had my car slightly vandalized. One day I walked out and there was Taco Bell all over my car and honey and chocolate. It was disgusting. And then one other day, someone broke through the door and took like my backpack with my books in it and like a sweatshirt and things like that.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I think the worst I've seen, actually probably the most humorous I've seen now that I think about it. We have these big bags of or I see those big like 10-pound bags of popcorn, and I won't say who, but they're people I knew. And I was at the ice rink one day. I was leaving the ice rink, and there are guys standing on top of this guy's car, dumping the bags of popcorn into his open sunroof that he had left open
my God.
when he went inside. And he came out and he opened the door, and it's just, I mean, the car was filled all the way to the top with popcorn. It was brilliant.
That's a shame that happened, but it's also, you're right, it's very funny.
That sounds like a sporting hazing event.
I'll tell you, it's a shame that there were actual vandalization, but it does kind of sound like a sporting hazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think any of them were athletes, but it was definitely pretty funny.
I work at Jets Pizza, and I will take a delivery once in a while. I'm not a driver, but this summer I took a delivery out to Ferris, and it was like a house in the woods.
Yeah.
And those are always scary because it's like 11 at night and it's dark, and you got to try to find this person's house. It sucks. But so I pull into this person's driveway, and their dog comes running out, so I'm just going to sit in my car, wait for him to get his dog. The dog is scratching at my window trying to get in, and I couldn't see it at night, but the next morning I looked at my car and I got scratches all on my door.
Oh.
I was so pissed. They're still there. All right, let's see some other news. Posters were sold in the North Quad. See that every year.
Did see that. Those are always interesting posters.
Yeah.
You have like sporting posters, movies, a lot of Pulp Fiction, a lot of Fight Club,
People
and then
love
like
Pulp Fiction.
provocative ones, which is really interesting to see on campus.
You either really like Tarantino or you really don't like Tarantino.
Yeah, I do really like Tarantino.
I do like Tarantino.
My
too.
favorite is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Tarantino's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Unanimous.
Yeah.
Yep. He's the only director, maybe besides like Martin Scorsese, who I'll make like it'll be an event to go see him. Like all my friends will go. Like I'll go see movies all the time, but I'm never super excited for a movie unless it's Tarantino. He's a big part of my life, guys. All right. The other thing about the posters is if you came down from if you came out of a time machine and you went right to the poster thing, you'd think we'd still lived in the 90s. Because everything is like 90s nostalgia.
You're true.
That's not wrong.
Tarantino, Kobe, Jordan.
Yeah, maybe this isn't 90s, but there's always like a Carlito's Way poster, or what's the other one with Al Pacino? Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah,
what's that one called?
I can't remember, but I do know what you're talking
It's
about.
like the most popular movie in the
Is
world.
it,
I can't remember what it's called.
Scarface.
Yeah, there's always a Scarface poster. Huh. That might be 80s. I'm not sure.
I can't
I
remember.
think it's 80s.
All right. Another piece of news: OMSS hosted their annual Get Acquainted Day. This article is written by Andrea Lanehart. It was hosted on the 15th, and the purpose was for minority students to meet each other and find out what resources are available to them on campus. So, I'm glad to know it exists, but I don't really have any. I'm not a minority student, so there's not a lot I can say about it.
3 white guys in the room.
Yeah.
It's definitely good to have on a campus where there is not a whole lot of diversity here. Much of the diversity comes from the few international students. So it's good to see that. And like I said earlier, joining a fraternity to find your home. It's good to get with people who you have similar interests with to like feel kind of at home while you're at school.
It's just good to get involved, period.
Yeah.
If you're going to come to college, I mean, you can't just be here just for the degree. You really don't get anything out of it if you just go to class for 4 years and
Exactly.
graduate. You got to do something to distinguish yourself.
Yeah, and this is undergrad too. I mean, if you're in law school, I can see really.
Yeah, that's fair.
You don't want to maybe just join a softball team or something once a week, but as an undergrad, you definitely have time to do some
There's
stuff.
always time.
Yeah. All right. Another piece of news here: Alex Colville. Is that how you say it, Harrison?
Yeah, Colville.
Colville is a new student section leader at the hockey game. Yeah, hockey games, I should say. He is replacing Joel Root, who was formerly the leader. I don't know exactly what the job of the leader is. I've been to a few hockey games, but probably get the crowd pumped up and make some signs.
Funny story. I was actually the dog pound leader for 2 games before I got brought on as a color commentator. I bought season tickets because I was done covering the team full time, and I was like, I want to enjoy hockey season as a fan. And for whatever reason, Joel, the outgoing guy, texted me and goes, "Hey, you want to help me out?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we ended up opening the season with U of M, so it sold out, thunder sticks and everything, and it was crazy. Basically, what you do is you just yell to tell people to get on their feet, and start chants and that kind of thing. And Alex is really good. He makes it really exciting. He's creative, and good hockey team this year. So they're gonna have fun with Alex in the student section, I think.
Yeah, that'll be a good time.
I've been to 2 hockey games since I've been here, and they were both my freshman year. I was at the U of M game, and I got there a little late, so I was standing on the staircase by the band. So I didn't really enjoy it because my ears were ringing. Yeah. I never had really seen a hockey game before, so I can't really say too much on hockey. But
what?
It was
Aren't you from New York? Don't they love hockey out east?
Yeah, I don't know. I just never really was super into hockey. I was like a Rangers fan, I guess, but I never played. I'm not really able to ice skate, so I'm the wrong person to ask about sporting events.
Yeah. Well, I played hockey for years. I started when I was 4 and played all the way to my freshman year of college. I played men's league that year. And I bought season tickets my freshman year, and I enjoyed going, but I have an issue with, committing that much money to something. If I don't know if I'm going to be able to go every game, so I just kind of do it a la carte these days. But, all right, that's what we got for news. And we have a couple opinions here. Travis, yours is one of them. You wrote this week about having a hobby, an active hobby to reduce stress.
Yeah, so I was just, I said I read an opinion, and I was thinking, in Big Rapids you have like maybe a month in the fall, a month in the spring where you can really get outside and do active activities. It's not everyone's going to be on a sporting team, not everyone plays intramurals, but it's really easy just to find some sort of hobby outside to do. For me, I hate sitting inside. I don't play video games. When I want to clear my mind, I want to go outside. So, I've always been a bike rider. I've always been a hiker. I recently picked up longboarding. I was really into it. So I was just trying to get that point across that, get away from sitting inside when it's nice out, because when the winter comes, you're going to be dying to get outside.
Right. Makes sense. What do you do? What do you get active with there?
Honestly, I'll play, if my friends are playing pickup sports, which I feel like never happens anymore. I was totally made to be like an 80s kid. Like the kids that went out and played stickball in the street. I would have loved that. But for the most part, I'm super lame. My hobby's writing, but I go and try and find somewhere not indoors and not lame to go write. Right. So I'll go find a spot down by the river and sit up against a tree, pull a hammock out or something, and just kind of hammer away at some creative stuff. But you got to find something that does get you outdoors, because it's gorgeous up here. I don't think people realize if you get a little outside of town, you can find some really pretty spots. Yeah. Even
I live right by Hemlock Park, and that bridge right over the water, you hop over it. There's a little island area there. Just go sit down. Yeah. It's beautiful. No one's there to bother you, and just do it while you can. I'm someone who likes the winter, but for a month, not 5 or 6 months. So just get outside.
My theory is I'll take December. Yeah. And then after that, I'm done with it.
Right.
Because December's a little bit more, it's like 40s, 30s. But once it gets to
holidays.
Once you get January and February, and it's just horrible.
February's the worst month.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then when there's still snow in the ground, when April hits, you just want to tear your hair out.
Yeah.
It's a problem with my job. It's like I'll be at home and I'll go out and have to do something outdoors, and one of my friends will text me and goes, "Hold on, I'm going to go inside the ice rink to warm up." I mean, that's what I do. I go into the ice rink to warm up here. It's cold out here, man.
That's funny. All right, well, we got another opinion here. Harley Harrison, one of our reporters, wrote about her frustrations with parking on campus.
Classic.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
I have totally beat the parking on campus by walking to campus.
Yeah.
It's a 20-minute walk to the business building. I do it every day, sometimes twice a day. I don't even want to waste $200 to drive around for a parking spot each day. So I just walk. My roommates, they'll drive halfway up and park on Stewart and Warren and then walk from there. But I mean, the parking is terrible. Granted, I don't think students should have to park to go to a class they're already paying for. Different story. But I mean, with the construction, you have less commuter parking by the automotive building. You go park on the streets, and they're you're halfway down to shooters by the time you can finally park. So parking definitely is not good here.
That's true.
There are big lots that aren't like near anything.
Yeah.
Like if I want to, sure, I can park on campus. Technically, campus extends out to the ice rink.
Mm-hmm.
Giant parking lot out there, commuter parking lot. No one's going to park there to go to class. Class is way far away.
Yeah.
One of my friends that lived in my home in McNerney had to park out there, and it was just brutal having to walk there in the winter to his car. But, I live at Venlo, and it's probably 30 minutes to Star as a walk. So, I got my commuter pass, and what I find is my morning, I have class every day in the morning. I can park at the UC easily, and then I'll go home, and my next class will be at 1. And there's no way you can park.
Right.
You're right. It's parked halfway out to Sheeter, so I park at the fraternity house, and then I walk from there, which is only like 10 minutes. Not too bad. So, all right. Well, Harrison, I'm excited to have you on because you are kind of a living legend over at the Torch. So, do you have any funny or intriguing stories about your time there?
Funny or intriguing stories of the Torch? God, it's been a while. I still remember when we were in their old Rankin Center.
Yeah.
And basically our office was where you would go if there was a nuclear blast nearby. It was the lowest, most central room in the whole darn building. It was crazy. It was like this closet in the middle of this just dark pit, and there was a big beam in the middle of our office. And we called it it was like the pillar of shame or something. So the freshmen on staff would have to sit behind it during the staff meetings. So I'd be sitting out, and I'd get there early and get a good spot. And the editor-in-chief who liked to mess with me back then, she was pretty funny. She goes, "Harrison, freshman, pillar of shame." And so I just go sit behind the pillar of shame and couldn't see anything going on during the meeting, but I could hear it. And it was, they hated me about that much, but it wasn't bad. I just I miss my time at the Torch. It was fun. We did a lot of stuff. We moved twice. We moved 2 different offices. I had a whirlwind 3 years. I was the sports editor by the end of my freshman year, and then I was the editor in chief. Right at the end of my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. So it all went really fast for me. But definitely something that if I had to go back and do it again, I totally would.
Yeah, for sure. Travis?
Funny stories. I don't know. I guess not that much funny, but I was kind of more like shocked. So I started last December. I was there for a few weeks, and we had break. And then I went on a trip to Israel for 10, 11 days. And I came back, and I looked at my email, and it's 6 in the morning, and I had a media minute to write. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I've been away from the media for so long. I don't know what to write about. So I just wrote about my experience there, and one of the Israeli soldiers I met who was my age, and we bonded like that. We were really, really tight. So I wrote it, sent it in, and I got an insane amount of positive feedback. And at that point, I had never taken a journalism class. I didn't really know how long I'd be the Torch for, but it was just, I don't know, it was really cool to see you write something that means a lot to you, and people come to you the next day in school and I really liked your article. I want to know more about it. So that was cool.
Yeah, I remember that article too.
Yeah,
that was really good.
It's a good point you bring up. It's I actually never had any formal journalism training before I was hired.
Yeah,
I worked on our high school paper, and I won an award for a story I wrote, but it was kind of an investigative piece on the sport of wrestling and how people are unhealthy. And I got a ton of negative feedback.
Yeah.
And so I was going into college with this, with this story, and I'm sitting thinking I don't have what it takes to be a journalist. People don't like what I write. But sometimes when they don't like what you write, it ends up being some of your best stuff. And when I left awards, MIPA awards that day, which is the high school version of Michigan Press Association awards.
Right.
I came home with an award, and that's when I realized that was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So.
I started at the Torch after writing a satirical, I guess you could call it a blog, called The Toad. I didn't have any training. I didn't even really enjoy writing all that much, but I wanted to try it because I love reading the newspaper.
Right.
So then I did the news, and then I did opinions as editor, and now I do this. I've really enjoyed my time there. It's been really fun.
Yeah, me too.
And, yeah, it's a good time. All right, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we sign off here?
I appreciate you inviting me on. It's fun. Always fun to be back around the torch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for having us out. New students, get out of your room, put the controller down, and go join some RSO. Whether it's Greek life or anything else, just go do it. And get outside.
Amen.
Totally agree. All right, I got to go to the gate. Cool. We got $1.50 beers going, so I will see you all next week.